add that I don't get nervous and I don't get like freaked out, because it must be a horrible feeling. I'm watching all this go on, and I'm just like sitting back watching it, knowing that they're just digging themselves deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper, and it just doesn't bother me. I just think somebody came up and go, oh, you're right. I'm like, I'm really tired. So relaxed, I felt like I could have fell asleep in that chair with Julie Chen sitting there. I was yawning a million times. I couldn't even help myself. So, and I've talked to Jen quite a number of times, and I'm sure she's reported back to you every single thing.
No, actually she hasn't.
Well, last night she gave up bits and pieces of just about everything.
I didn't know that, because she doesn't. I have not told her about Zach and Nick.
She told me.
I don't know how she knew, because it didn't
I knew
come
Zach
from me.
was in it.
With the handshake. I mean, Evil, am I that stupid to put that much honor on a handshake? I mean, I guess so.
In here?
I guess so.
With people that you have absolutely no idea who they are, what they're about on the second day.
That was bad of me.
There was a website that said, how to win Big Brother. Don't ever get in big alliances. Number one, pick out one person that you think that you can totally trust and depend on throughout the entire game, and that has charisma and blah, 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 and so on and so forth. And learn recipes for oatmeal in case you go on slop. And there was like a couple other things that I really don't remember. Those were the ones that stuck out to me. And the thing that I recognized was never get in big alliances, because they're nothing but a target and they never ever go anywhere. It gives the rest of the house a target to go after. And now everybody in the house, do you see how happy they are?
I didn't think.
You see how much fun they're having down there?
I didn't think 4 was that big of an alliance. You know what? The house guests, they have that much fun every night. Every night. Maybe a little bit more tonight, but they do.
A lot more tonight, because they all know they're safe.
Yeah.
They all know they're safe.
Well, I'd be happy too, knowing you're always happy when you know you're safe.
I've had 2 weeks of a free ride. Mm-hmm. I've had 3 weeks of no slop. I won a fucking plasma screen TV, which Amber should have had. Mm-hmm. I was also on the block, but it didn't bother me. And every time I talk with the voices in my head, aren't you worried? Aren't you worried? No, not in the least.
Right.
Yesterday, I told Jen. I told you in the hammock.
Yes, you did. You told me you didn't
I said,
need my vote.
if you're voting for me, I could see it being chain 0.
Right.
I told her last night, because I heard some other stuff, and I'm like, I think it's going to be 8-2 or 9-1. And she's like, 9-1? That's never going to happen. No way, you're wrong. 8-2, yeah, I could see. But 9-1, no way. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, we'll see.
Yeah, I was shocked that Jessica didn't vote for her bedmate. I thought maybe a sympathy vote.
Jessica told me days ago, and I never even came up to her.
It's so
She
funny.
came up to me. Is she going to tell Joe that she's voting for me? Mm-hmm. No, because what if Joe stays and she's got to be in the same bed with this guy that she said she's going to vote against? Right. No way. Jessica knows how full of shit he was. Jessica heard all of his bullshit. She came up to me and she's like, you have my vote. Mm-hmm. I want you to know right now that you have my vote. Jamaica was the one that was on the fence. And there were some misunderstandings between me and Jamaica. And I wanted to talk to her. And I didn't get a chance to talk to her a couple of days ago. And when I did talk to her yesterday, we talked mainly about the misunderstandings. And the only thing I really told her about the game was about who's the one with integrity, who's the one that's been lying. Well, he hasn't to me, she says. I said, but he's been with everybody else. And you think that, what, you're totally special, that not down the line? I said, let me put it to you this way. And I told her about, flipping the bitch with Zach. I put myself out. I didn't give a shit if I went up against Zach or went up against Joe. I didn't care. Mm-hmm. And I put myself out and I put my neck on the line, and I'm like, and I told her, you know it. And she's like, yeah. And I go, you were the one that was one of the biggest ones flipping out. And that's why I came up with that plan to do that. It didn't happen. And what did Joe do? He turned on me and totally stabbed me in the back, and he fucked me. And he talked about every one of you. Did you think that Zach came up to you and spent 2 hours talking Bible because he's all of a sudden interested?
Well, looking back now.
She's like, no, I thought it was totally full of crap. Oh. And then all of a sudden he's really nice to Danielle and really nice to Jessica. He's as transparent as a piece of glass. It's not a big deal to me. So No matter what happens and what you say, there's no way I can trust you, and I want you out of this game. And I'm really sorry, but you made a really big mistake. And again, maybe there has been, but I'm being as honest as I can. And I don't know if anybody's played this game like me and have been like this, where I'm giving my opposition and people that are coming after me advice in the game. And I told you and I told Jen the exact same things. Get the fuck out and run away because you guys are going down. And neither one of you listen. She's trying to back herself out right now.
Right.
She's telling me that she's telling me that she's trapped in an alliance with you. With you and Mike. She's under that impression. She told me alliance.
Okay.
And she's also the one that talked about Nick.
She's my best friend in the house. About Zach. She's my best friend in the house.
Well, she betrayed you last night.
Well, I consider her my best friend in the house, but I considered Mike, Zach, and Nick in my alliance, and Jen is my best friend. Jen is somebody who we don't have to talk.
You could pull her vote when she wasn't HOH if you needed to, and you could control the votes in the house.
No, she is somebody who she's like my best friend in the house. I'm the only one that gets along with her. The other girls don't get along with her.
But she is also a skirt player in your alliance that you could use her vote if you wanted. She is one that I talk
advice with and stuff like that.
If she was an HOH, then you would have pulled her vote, and if everybody had gone as planned, you could have gotten me out. Or, I kept hearing 5-5, 5-5, and it would go to Jen, and I'm like, never going to be. Never going to happen. Never going to happen. I knew I had Nick. I knew I had...
Who shook my hand and was in my alliance.
That day, too, when you don't know anybody. You can't make a deal with somebody that you don't know.
So even if you shake somebody's hand that you don't know,
honestly, man, I would never do it. Did I do it?
No, I'm just talking in real life, not in the Big Brother.
I was scrambling for my life in this place while you guys were planning the demise of us.
Yeah,
I'm sitting there being,
No, you were scrambling for Danielle's life.
I was scrambling for my own as well.
You had immune.
When I had it, but when I walked down those stairs, I was thrown to the lions, and I had to do. Thank God I had that pass, because if I didn't, I would have been up week 1, and everybody